Hello everyone, you're watching Campus Channel, and today we're here with ESITC Caen to talk about their postmaster expertise in maritime and port structures. Here to take your questions, we have Guillaume Carpentier, who is the head of engineering and international students. He is joined by Esteban Escobar, who is an alum of last year's program and is now a project manager at ESITC, which is a French consulting firm. But before we take your questions and get started, we're going to start with a segment that we like to call the pitch. All right, Guillaume, the pressure's on you. You've just been practicing. You now have 60 seconds flat to tell us about your program.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Alice, and good afternoon, everyone. So we are very pleased here today to present you our one-year postgraduate training program dealing with port coastal engineering. This training program was developed by ESITC Caen in 2011 in order to answer to a strong demand from company, and definitely to face the 21st century's human challenge called climate mitigations. It is dedicated to engineers, postgraduate student or graduate student, everyone who wants to improve their skill in the field of coastal, port, shore protection. High-level lecturers from all over Europe come to share their knowledge. And at the end, 100% of employment is waiting for you. So if you are curious, rigorous, and passionate, this training program is dedicated to you. Nearly.
All right, yeah, good. Perfect. That was almost, yeah, good fun. Perfect. Thank you, Kim. All right, we got through it. Now it's time to start taking questions, I guess. So hopefully they should come up on the screen just over here.
Time's up.
And all right, so let's see, Guillaume, why don't you read the first one?
Yeah, okay, thank you, Alison. So what's the typical profile of participants? Are all of them engineer? Are most of them French or from abroad? Okay, so they are all of them, all of that.
All of them.
So in fact, yes, mostly they are engineer or graduate student from university. And regarding the nationality, in fact, like Esteban, they come from all over the world. Like French, it depends from year to year. Sometimes it's 50% to 50% French foreigners. Sometimes it's more than this. Sometimes it's less, so it's balanced. So
so why don't you tell us about who is in your class?
Yes, last time we were from Brazil. Me, I'm from Argentina, from Africa, French students. So from different universities. Different kind of study, so it was really nice to share the lectures with them and to learn between each other.
Yeah, and also we have also young engineers that just finished their training. Sometimes we have some person that have done a PhD, like Esteban.
Yes.
Sometimes they have worked for 5 years, 10 years, and sometimes they only come from university after 5 years of study.
Okay, so there's a big age range.
Yeah.
So maybe like mid 20s to what was maybe the oldest student? Like 30? Were they people in their 30s?
40 was me.
We had ever 40, I think so. Yeah, it's different. You see.
Okay,
Yes.
and are people mostly engineers, or you said they could sometimes have other backgrounds? Like if they're not engineers, what other types of things have they studied?
They come from physics, mechanics. Yes, master on physics, mechanics, mathematics, logistics one time, but you need to have some scientist background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I couldn't come.
Yeah.
I studied English and French, not helpful.
And it is taught in English, so it's good.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask,
Yes.
socially, Esteban, did you speak English with all of your friends, all the students from all over the place?
Yes, because two of them, they didn't speak French, so to integrate them and to share good moments, and for the projects too, everyone speak English, so what's really good, because mostly of the projects that I make now are on English, so it's important to have some good knowledge of technical words, and also how to write a report in English that the companies you need to do like that.
Yeah, it's the working language. All right, let's move on to our next question. All right, and this one looks like it's for you, Esteban. Oh, sorry, you should go ahead and read that one.
Were you considering the other programs? what made you chosen ESITC? Yes, I searched on internet. My idea was to work in Maritime works, and I found on internet the program and the lectures, so this really fit with my wishes, and it's why I took the decision to make this master.
Were you looking at other schools as well?
Yes, I look in other school, but this one has the possibility to, like say Guillaume, to be in contact with all the companies in the world. So this is some really good point. It's good to meet the different companies, and so it's another good point to make this master.
Like the French ministry also has chosen
yes.
us. So the French ministry decided to put his hydraulic wave lab into our school because they think that we have the whole skill to manage this. So maybe I will be able to discuss about that, but we have a wave flume, we have some experiments we carried out for the ministry according to the shore protection, the port development and coastal engineering. So even the French ministry come to our school.
Well, and when did the French ministry start doing these tests out of?
Presently we are carried out some model testing for them according to the climate mitigation. For example, with the sea level rise, we have to adapt the structure to this new condition, to this new environmental condition. So we have to carry out some tests to see what we can do or not, how we can protect people. So it is also a sustainable way to work.
Wow, so all of these French ministry tests are happening at your school?
Yeah, the new regulations, yes, for sure.
Wow. And do students at ESITC get to take part in those tests?
Wow. Yes, actually in this moment we are carrying out some tests in the lab. It's about, I don't know if I can say the project,
no.
But
so it's top secret.
Yes. And we are testing our infrastructure there to know the impact of the waves against to these breakwaters.
Wow, okay.
In some good why we took the lab, because also have some special dimensions that actually is one of the biggest in French, and this allow us to make models in like a more big scale, like in some regular channels that are more small.
Okay, it's fun. So now, you've left school. You're in this company, and you still have to go back to school to use the lab.
It's really nice go to Normandy to ESITC with Guillaume Iman. His lab.
Yeah, the word of coastal and port engineering is a small word, and we keep like a family now. So he come at home sometime, carry out some taste. Yeah.
That's so nice. You always get to see each other. All right, let's move on to the next question. Guillaume, why don't you read this one?
Okay, the training involves professional roles, play, project. Can you talk more about what that entails? Yes, for sure. This is something we develop at ESITC Caen. We are very keen in this kind of way of learning. So in fact, we use real project, try to adapt for students, but a real project, and we give to students. So we mix group of 10 students from TC5, so the last year of our engineer, plus our expert student from the different one-year postgraduate training program we have at school. One in port and coastal, and then we play the game. So we have like 4 to 6 group of 10 students. Every week they will meet their client or some tutor from company, and they will play the game like company, as I say. They will try to be the best, to give the best bid with the tender we give to you.
Yes.
So it's a very good deal, in fact, because students face to very big project, like in the reality, and a good engineer is the one who will be able to find the nice solution with the correct value, because you have a big amount of value of data, and the good engineer is the one who will take the correct one and to produce infrastructure safe for everybody, but in the sustainable way, means according to your needs, but only according to your needs, not too much maybe, because it's not sustainable to be too much, but safe, and that way. So it's a very good deal, I think so. Because and there is a teasing between the different group.
Yes, yes, it is really nice. When last year our project was the Kingston terminal container in Jamaica. So the idea was really nice to make some works, some projects on tender in Jamaica. So all our team was really motivated and was a really good challenge for us.
And the proof, I think, is a good thing. Two things that I think for you, it's the integration in the company is better.
Yes, yes.
And the second thing is that at the moment, it started last year, yesterday, we receive every year like 55 students from 15 nationalities, from Japan to Canada to Brazil to everywhere in the world, to do this game. It's different from there, but it's the same game. But not on 3 or 4 months like you did, but on one month we receive this student for this. So we know that it's a good solution. It's very good time, in fact. Also.
Yes, yes.
We can discuss, we learn.
Yeah, it sounds like a good way to bond also.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Esvan, let's have you read this next question.
Where are some of the places students have gotten jobs after the program? Do they mostly stay in France or go elsewhere? Yes, my colleagues in my class, everyone finds job. One is in Belgium, so it's not only in French, and the rest are in France and in Brazil. I think that another colleague go to Brazil, but it's mostly international. Actually, the most of works, maritime works, are international. So, in wherever you can find job, it's.
I think there is an explosion at the moment in these fields.
Yes.
In fact, and if we get more students, I think it will be more international, because we serve first our partners, so French and European, because we're getting more and more European partners, but for sure, as you see, we have some new partners from far from other continents, for example. But that's the way.
And how easy is it to get a job afterwards? Espan, you were saying that you had like tons of job offers.
No, not plenty,
no?
but almost around 4 or 5. And actually, I finished in October, and in November I started to work. So it was really, really fast, and it was the same for my colleagues. My colleagues too, they found really fast some jobs.
Yeah.
So this is really nice. Really, I was really happy because of that.
Yeah. If you like to come, we miss the good student to follow, because company asks us to train again, and it's easy to find a job also because you have lots of lecturers come from companies.
Yes, indeed. When we cross, we have lecture with all the professionals in many companies. We are really interested to know what they do. We give them our CVs for maybe make some internship, and they are searching for students. So the relation between professional world and student is really, really close. So it's really, really easy to catch after this master have a job opportunity.
Yeah, even the lecturers are potential employers.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's move on to this next one. This is good for both of you, I think. I guess, Guillaume, why don't you read this one?
Can you tell us more about the life in France and in Caen? How does it look like? I can tell you that Esteban comes from far from Caen in Normandy, and he stays in France. So I can tell you it's good to live in France, especially in Normandy. And Normandy means Northmen's land. So you see that even the Northmen come to Normandy. The D-Day landing anniversary is now. So you see everybody wants to go in Normandy.
That's the place to be.
Yeah, and the place, the beach to be. No, it's a very nice countryside. The weather is very good. Even some person say it's raining a lot. No, we are at the south of the scene, so the weather is very nice. The truth.
And the student life is really active because there are huge of universities, so it's really nice. You find people of everywhere, and this is
exactly a lot of students. It is a student city, at least at less than 10 minutes from the shore, so it's a very nice place.
Okay, can you go swimming?
Yeah. You're surprised, yes, for sure.
I imagine it being cool.
One of our college make surf, so he enjoyed to go to surf in the beach.
All right, surfing. Okay, good. Put that on the list for a trip to Caen.
And less to 2 hours from Paris by train, so very easy to visit Paris, anything else. So very good place.
Okay. All right, it is now time for our sort of second game of the interview. This one is called 3-Word Taboo. All right, so Guillaume, you have chosen 3 words to describe your program, and you're going to try and explain each of those 3 words with 1 sentence. But I have also chosen 3 words that I think could describe the program, and so your goal is to describe your 3 words without saying any of my 3 words, or I am going to ding this buzzer.
So I can start? Yeah, the first one would say passionated. Good? Yeah.
Good, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, like Esteban said, this is the word of passionate means, or woman, for sure, I say woman. And the C, it's, yes, it's a word of passionated, and also because we have some study, a lot of study, you have to study a lot, and also you have a job after that, but you need to work a lot. So this is a passionated job. Okay. Second, would you like to help me? I've got another one, which is sustainable. I will let you the last one. Sustainable. Environment.
Good. We could let's go with environment. I chose sustainable as well. All right, environment.
Environment. Yes. Yeah, we can say like 70% of the humans live close to the sea, and we speak about climate mitigation. We speak about food, like seafood, etc., fish farm, etc. So, and also because maritime traffic is very low carbon emission logistic transport, and then it is more environmental, sustainable than any way of transport. Do you like to say the last one?
I don't have nothing.
Yeah? I would say you can take the one from one of your colleagues called Adeline, if you remember. Adeline used boom. No.
No.
Yeah, it's not mine. It's funny. One of our former student who works for the ministry, she said boom. It was the first time used. And why? Because it's like an explosion. This field is, how can I say, as I told you, sustainable, I told you passionated, a lot of employment, attractive, because you work on the sea, you work with ship, you work with shore, etc. And there is a lake of person, in fact. So it's an explosion of job, it's an explosion of project, you can say. So it's boom.
Yeah, it's booming.
It's an open mind, full open mind.
Yeah, full open mind. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Okay, so we had passionate, environment, because we had to get rid of sustainable, and booming. All right, good. We survived that one. I'm putting the buzzer down. Guillaume, we're going to move on to some more questions. Esteban, why don't you take this one?
Are the courses mainly theoretical, or do you also work on concrete projects? Actually, it's half-half. We have 0.5% of our time, it's lectures, theoretical, and then you need to have some background to then apply this in the project. So it's both, and we can do only projects if we don't have theoretical knowledge, and we can either make only theoretical knowledge if we don't have some practice. So it's exactly half-half.
Half-half. Could you talk about like 1 or 2 of some of your favorite classes that you took?
Yes, I really I appreciate a lot. Dredging course lectures was really interesting for me. Also, we work in some water flow, so we make experience to waves, wave propagations, and all that, and was really nice. And then I have a lot of courses that I really like. I can also say coastal protections. We learn different programs to understand which is the best solution to protect the coastline. So that's it.
I know, it sounds interesting. I'm sold. All right. Let's see, Guillaume, this is a good one for you.
What is ESITC's reputation abroad? Is it known for any particular specialty? I will tell you, abroad, as I said at the beginning, we receive 55 students from 15 nationalities from biggest university of the world. So I can tell you that the reputation abroad is good. It's very good. We cannot imagine that a huge university in the world sends some student without thinking that they will work study properly. So simply and modestly, I'd like to say it's a good reputation.
And what is it kind of known for? Are there any specialties that?
Yes, so in fact when the CGE, Conférence des Grandes Écoles, accredited a school with some one-year postgraduate training program, it means that we have some specialities, you see, at school. And then ESITC Caen gets 3 main specialities, we can say, from sustainable building engineering with BIM, eco-material, etc. Another one with smart construction, which is quite new, and definitely port, coastal and shore protection. This is the 3 main topics known at ESITC Caen.
Yeah.
All right, great. Esteban, you want to take this next question?
Okay, where are some of the places students have done their 6-month internships? Does it have to be in France? No, actually, the 3 of us, they were to make an internship in foreign countries, and in France too. It's about also how do you feel with yourself if you want to be in some international company and make all your internship in English. If you are prepared for that, or if you want to stay in France, so you have many possibilities, but it's not some obstacle to stay in France. Actually, Guillaume forced us to go far from.
Get out of here. Where did you do yours, Esteban?
Me, I make my internship here in Paris, in some geotechnical company. The name it's Terrasol. There was some amazing internship that I did with really good professionals.
Okay, so if people wanted to, maybe international students, they could, study in Caen and then go back home maybe to do their internship.
Yeah, exactly, definitely, and more and more. Year on year, we have more and more opportunity abroad.
Okay, great.
That fit with the previous question.
All right, Kim, here, why don't you take this next one?
I want to focus more on coastal protection and development. Is it mandatory to study the increase in maritime traffic flow as well? Thanks. I will tell you yes. For example, if you'd like to work on coastal protection, you can think about wave from the sea, from the swell, but if you are close to, you can also imagine the wave induced by the ship. So it's important. So that's why I think it's a plus. For sure, we have a very nice and largely coastal protection modules, but I think the way that the ship will involve and put some input in your design, it's also important. So
yeah, studying maritime traffic flows is going to help you understand coastal development.
Yeah, it's not only one. We try to be open-minded, in fact.
Yeah, but when you look generally at the list of classes available to students, I mean, most of those are requirements, or is there some flexibility generally if a student isn't so interested in?
There is no student not interested, only passionate, otherwise not, no. Because the topic, I think, but we are maybe not objective as we should, but is very passionate, but also a lot of work. And once you put the finger in, you can say you will be stuck by the mission. So.
Then if you really like some particular topics, it's also on you to find some internship in companies who work in these special issues. So also it is possible. Depend which area you want to go deep. It is possible by the internship searching companies that are more or less they work on these topics. So this is.
Yeah, you study everything in class, but then when you know, for the internship, you do what you really want to do.
If you'd like to go, yes, that's a good remark. If you'd like to go for coastal processes, if you'd like to go to dredging, as you say,
yes,
which is not very well known, also renewable marine energy. We didn't talk about this yet, but we have also very typical lecture about renewable marine energy, such as trenching and backfilling of supply cables, which is, I think, the only lecture in Europe about for students, like peel driving, like ship mooring. This is some lectures that you cannot find anywhere else, and that give you some opportunity, some job attractivity. So I think
it's like one of our college. He liked to work on. Maritime and renewable energy and wind farms, and he went to make an internship on a company that do that. So he entered completely on this subject.
Okay, yeah, I mean, or you could discover something that you hadn't even thought about.
Exactly.
Like dredging.
Yeah. Be curious. Yes.
All right. Let's see, who wants to take the next one?
I think it's more for you, because
what is the admission process like for international student versus for French student? In fact, it's the same. Sometimes if you are foreigners, you need to pass by Campus France, but I don't know if it's still open. Otherwise, just send me an email and we'll see how to make it. But the admission process is, first of all, you have to go on the site. To go on to English and training and other training, you will find the 3 one-year postgraduate training program. Find the admission linked, and then fulfill the different question. After you will have a meeting with the director in order to know your motivation, your background, your professional project, in order to see if this program fit to your expectation. And that's it.
Okay. Was it relatively an easy process for you, Esteban, the admissions process?
Yes, it was. It's many. You need to have a lot of papers, but nothing really impossible to obtain. So it's with time you have to prepare well your papers and everything.
Okay. And the interviews, those can happen on Skype, I imagine.
Sometimes, sometimes on Skype, because we cannot ask person to come just for this, So a lot of Skype. I think this one is for you.
The program is very small, only 12 students. What is the group dynamic like? Does everyone spend time together outside of the studies? Yes. Actually, okay, the first is we are around, last year was 11 students, 11, 12. And it's really dynamic, and imagine even now we still meet together. We went last week, big holiday, we were in the south with 3 of colleagues, so it's we create some really friendly relation between us, so it's really nice.
That's good. It doesn't feel too claustrophobic.
No. Also, there are all the rest of students that are there, so it's not really. We are all 12 closed in some room. It's not like that. Okay, we have a space to
space to breathe, but still like a family. All right, Esteban, now we're going to play another game. This time it's going to put you on the spot. This one is called Final Destination. All right, Esteban, so this is the one we were talking about before. We've got our fishbowl here with a series of sentences, the beginnings of sentences. You're going to pick one out of here and then finish the sentence.
Okay. It's one?
Sure.
Yes. So. It's easy. The best class I have taken was dredging.
Dredging?
Yes, I spent. It was really interesting because I'm from geotechnical engineering, and I really like to see, and I learned a lot of combination between combination between sea and soil. So it's a mix between two. So it was really nice lectures.
Your class. I'm someone, I know nothing about what dredging is. Just for someone like me, can you quickly say what dredging is?
Maybe you like to aspirate in your house?
Yeah, vacuuming, okay.
Vacuum, yes. Actually, is that we are going to vacuum the soil and in the sea to create a space for big ships enter in the port, for example.
Okay.
So mostly
also to prepare the basement for wind farm, for wind turbine.
Yes.
Because for example, for wind turbine, you need to have a vertical structure with a minimum tilt, and then you have to prepare the basement, okay, to put the wind turbine and to optimize the production of energy. So this is a dredging affair issue. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Me also, I didn't know anything about dredging, and is why also I was really interested to know this, curious to learn about them. But it's like a vacuum in the house.
Okay.
but it's a big issue also because you need to dredge everywhere, but it's not at the beginning, you can say, very sustainable. So the big dredger tried to carry out some research, innovation in order to reduce the impact on the nature, in order to be more sustainable, to limit the effect of this vacuum, you see. So it's very interesting also because it's always different. They always try to be innovative, to preserve.
Yes.
It's good. It's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, sustainable dredging.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Guillaume, why don't you take this one?
Okay, many partners are mentioned on your website, engineering firms, construction company. How does it impact the program? Can we work with them? Yeah, definitely. So in fact, the number of partners you can see on it's not up to date, we can say, because we get more and more because as I told you, boom, this. So we have a lot of new partners, and for sure they come from engineering, works, or project owners, and we try to organize the training and the way to think and to work. That way you can get a job in any kind of structure. From engineering, like Esteban, but one of your colleagues, you told him go abroad in dredging companies, some other with construction companies. So you can go in any placement you like, and
labs too.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because you can make the link and know the needs of the other one. I think it's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the number of partners that you have?
On the website, I think it's like 44, but now I think it's more than this. I cannot remember exactly because it's increasing. So that's nice.
Yeah,
it's mean, yeah, boom. It's me.
Okay. All of the classes are taught in English, but the brochure say comprehension of French is also mandatory. Why is that? In some lectures are in French, but everyone tried to make the effort to do it on English. Sometimes there are professionals that they make effort to speak on English, and some words are not they don't go easily, and sometimes we try to search the comprehension on the French word to translate. But mostly 80% of lectures are in English.
In fact, I'd like to give some more information. So in fact, the program is in English, it's taught in English, and sometimes we have some conference, which is different from lectures, you see. and then we want to give the most as we can. And sometimes when we find a good conference, even if it's in French, because it's not in the lecture program, we say if there is some French student, come and see. But we don't put this conference at the beginning of the training. Okay, so we put them at the end. We can help for the traduction, but for the program is fully taught in English. Okay, but we have some conference sometime in French.
Is it possible for students who come to learn French while they're doing the program?
Yes, and they are very friendly. And if you speak only English, there is no problem to follow. This year we receive some Vietnamese students, for example, they never know about French, etc. Only English, no words, but there were no problem. Okay, for sure we have 2-3 conferences at the end, like very technical, like transport and encourage of offshore structure, which is very technical. We know that, but we prefer to keep this kind of conference because they are high level, very typical, and we cannot find this abroad. This is a specialty from France. But sometimes we take lectures from another country and they only speak English and that way. But we taught in English, fully taught in English with some conference sometime in French.
Okay, so students don't have to speak French at all?
No, but for sure it's better to speak French because it's easier to live in France when you speak French. But at the beginning, if you don't know how to speak French, you will learn it day by day.
Yeah. And or through classes? Is it possible to take classes in French?
Yes, for sure you can take classes in French. But for the master degree, it's taught in English and the exam is written in English. Like the lectures in English, everything is in English.
Okay.
Like I said too, for me is open mind, is also be curious for the French language. And it's not too bad once to hear someone is speaking French and try to guess what they say. Me, that I'm from Spanish countries, that we speak in Spanish. It was nice too to see how is French. So everything is, you need to be curious to learn language, to learn different relation between different students. I don't know. It's everything is new.
Yeah, part of the fun.
Yes, it's part of the fun.
Whoever wants it, Guillaume, why don't go
Sorry.
ahead.
What are the backgrounds of the teachers? Are they permanent faculty or professional in the fields? So in fact, we have both. We have a lot of persons from companies everywhere in the world. A lot of. Sometimes they start at university, but go to the real world, we can say, to be front of the difficulty, to face them, and for sure we have some faculty permanent to give the basement and to give the theory sometimes. So it's a mix of both of them. But I can say we have more than 60% from person in company, 60 to 70% sometimes.
Okay, professionals. And then nationality-wise, are they native English speakers? Are they French? Are they
everywhere? But the English speaker. I'm the worst one, we can say.
No. Well, then that's a pretty good level.
With the Normand accent. You will learn the Normand accent.
All right, you two, we're almost out of time, and so we're going to have to take a moment to reflect on this past 40 minutes that we've just had. So now it's time for a segment that we call the Sweetest. All right, so for this part, I'm going to ask each of you, what was your favorite question and why?
You start.
That's nice. Favorite question? I would say the one about the project. The one about the project at the beginning, because for sure I think this is something that represents well the ESITC Caen. We really want our students to learn by project. We think this is a good way to go deeper in the theory, in the application, and also with the team, because in order to answer to a tender, you need to have the team building, to the team atmosphere. So that represents really the atmosphere at the ESITC Caen. So I think this one, the sweetest one.
For me, I could say the passions, because a lot of us actually we work like crazy until night every day. Was full time, and everyone was really passionate of what we did. So I think for me this represent this
Sweetest thing.
Yeah.
For me, it was learning about dredging. Right. Thank you both so much. I guess that brings us to the end of this interview. Thanks to all of you for watching, and please join us again here on Campus Channel.